Welcome back to our Banff-bound journey through the western U.S. Last week's adventure left off in Zion, and yesterday we made the 2-hour drive to Bryce Canyon City. This week we're at Bryce Canyon National Park. It's Jimmy and my first time here, and Jimmy's got a hike picked out for us, so I think we're gonna hop on the bikes and check that out.
We're getting a kind of a late start on the day. It's like 2:30, unfortunately. So the hike that I have picked out is kind of small, but I think from the reviews, it's supposed to be one of the most popular here, and so we can't go to Bryce Canyon without checking it out. It's the Navajo Loop Trail.
I don't know if this will fit the way I want it to.
You're having a lot of trouble there, Nat. Oh my gosh. That seems really unnecessary.
Hey, it works. This is so cute. It's just the right height.
I'm really enjoying the views on the switchback, but I'm not looking forward to coming back up this later. It goes back pretty far.
Really?
I honestly don't think my boots were a good decision for this. They have like no traction on them for some reason.
So the one thing that Bryce Canyon National Park is best known for is the very distinct hoodoos that it has all over the place. They're just formed by wind over time, but they look really distinct. And from the canyon rim looking down into it, it almost looks like you're looking down on a maze. I'm impressed that trees are able to grow down here, and so many very large trees. I didn't think they would get enough sun, but I guess they do.
So apparently the Navajo Loop is a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be, and we've got some time left. So I think we're gonna tack on the Queen's Garden Loop.
Queen's Garden Trail.
Yeah. So either way, it adds another 1.5 miles or so. Tomorrow, we might come back and do something a little bit more ambitious. But, you know, we're still a little tired from our time at Angel's Landing. So we're taking it slow. You don't want to sit down?
I'm just making sure nothing lives in it.
There's probably a few chipmunks.
As long as they don't bite.
I'm glad we were able to find a spot to actually sit down. Even though we're basically in a little forest right now, there's nowhere to sit.
I am a little surprised with how busy this park is that there aren't more benches along the trails. Because I don't think we've seen any. We gave up just a little bit too early.
Literally 20 feet from where we were just sitting.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna try it out.
Okay, break number 2.
We're out of snacks.
What in the world is this?
I don't know. Oh.
It changed so suddenly from forest to this.
Is this a slot canyon?
Oh, this is a slot canyon. Probably not, but I can literally see the end right there. There's where the trees start right behind you again. I think we're finally coming up on the Queen's Garden. There's a lot more hoodoos here.
Look at this, Jimmy.
Oh, that's really cute.
That's cool. This is a tall one.
So Natalie's discovered why it's called the Queen's Garden, and that's because one of the hoodoos here is supposed to resemble Queen Victoria's statue in England, but we've yet to find it. The marker's down there, and it points to this hoodoo right here, but to me it looks nothing like it. So we're trying to explore, we're trying to find what looks like a statue, but to me they all just kind of look like dirt piles. Like, it's not that one. Is it this one?
I'm starting to think that what happened is somebody hiked out here and didn't bring enough water on a hot day, and they came out and started hallucinating, and they had the authority to name it.
I'm gonna start naming these after ourselves if we can't find this queen. I'm gonna name that one after us. That's the Jimmy Natalie statue.
Aw.
Don't you see it? Which side do you want to be, the left or the right?
I'll be the skinnier side.
Okay, all right, I'll be the left side.
All right.
I really thought that one was gonna be it. All right, at this point, I'm pretty sure we've had to have seen the hoodoo. I just don't think we've recognized it. There's a lot of signs closing off a lot of the side trails due to restoration efforts. I'm pretty sure they took that photo on one of the side trails because we have been searching and searching and we can't find the hoodoo they're referencing. It's gotta be the one that's right in front of the sign, but it just doesn't look like it from the angle we were standing at.
I think someone was just trying to be creative and come up with a fun name for something, and Jimmy and I just obviously don't have the same vision that they did.
Yeah. But the thing is like, we're surrounded by hoodoos, which kind of look like chess pieces.
Oh, yeah.
So they could still kind of call it Queen's Garden, and it would make sense.
Yeah, the whole Bryce Canyon is.
There you go, I solved the problem. Well, we're gonna start walking back, but we tried our hardest to find it.
Jimmy's starting to think that maybe it fell over and they just don't want to admit it.
That's what I think. I mean, all these hoodoos look so fragile.
Right, yeah. That's more likely than us just not being able to identify it.
Exactly.
Those bridges don't look like they could support a single chipmunk. They look very unsteady. Maybe that's why they tell you not to feed the chipmunks here, because if they get any fatter, they're gonna make the bridges collapse.
So we were walking by and we were staring at this one and we were talking to each other saying, how does that one not have a name? And I looked it up and it does. That's Thor's hammer, which now that I know the name, like, I can kind of see it.
I love seeing places like this when the sun gets really low in the sky because the shadows it creates just add so much depth to it.
I don't know what it is about the wildlife at these national parks. I guess they paid their entry fee and they're gonna enjoy it too.
We are on a shared use path. I just thought it was for bikes and pedestrians, not deer.
Alright, that was probably the coldest bike ride we've ever had so far.
We've got to get like better cold weather clothes.
Or just gloves. Like, that's the worst part. It's like you're holding your hands out there and you can't let them go because, you know, you're steering a bicycle.
Yeah.
And so they get freezing cold. So my hands are pretty cold. We're going to stay here a little bit longer, but I think we might just head back to our campsite and eat dinner there. But before we go, they have one of the nicest amenities here. They have dumpsters here with no private trash signs on it.
And we're right next to a big campground for RVs, so I'm pretty sure nobody would mind if we threw away our couple bags of trash.
Alright, well this was not the spot that we stayed at last night. But it's still pretty good. It's a lot closer to the main road, but you could tell this place is really busy and it's really popular. I think it's like literally called Tom's Best Spring Campground or something like that.
I love seeing all the trees.
Yeah, it's really nice to be out of the desert.
Yeah. The desert was fun to go into, but it's, you know, after 3 months, it's cool to see something new again.
Oh. I don't blame her. She's already getting a snack.
I need an appetizer so I can cook dinner.
That's true. So, honest thoughts about Bryce Canyon is, I think we got a little spoiled by Zion. I saw on the reviews for Bryce, and I think I now agree with it, that Bryce is better observed from the rim trail. Once you go into the hoodoos, you kind of lose like the majesty of it all, I guess. And it just kind of looks like dirt next to you. But when you're on the rim trail and at like the sunset point and the sunrise point, and you can see all of it like in the landscape and the mountains behind it, it's really beautiful. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, and it's always fun to have an excuse to use the word hoodoo.
Yeah, we've been going crazy with it today. We've made a lot of lame jokes.
It's a fun word.
Yeah. Who do you think named them?
That was my joke.
That was her joke.
You said it wasn't funny, and now you're taking it. These are gonna be so good.
Natalie and I had a talk last night, and I think we decided what we're gonna do. We had planned to go back into Bryce Canyon today and do some more exploring, but I think we made the most of our time yesterday, and I think we saw a good portion of it, and we're ready to move on. We could stay around here if we wanted to. The campsite has been great. There's some good bike trails, but we just kind of want to move on to the next spot, which will be Capitol Reef National Park. Natalie and I kind of realized in our talk last night that we're just a little bit behind schedule. Our initial goal had us crossing the border into Canada in early June, and that is about a month out, and we are in southern Utah. So we really got to pick up the pace. And so that's kind of what we're doing today. We're going to keep going. We're going to go to Capitol Reef National Park. A lot of you guys have suggested it in the comments, so I'm really excited to check it out. People have been saying it's a little bit of a less common national park. So I'm eager to see less people, if that makes sense. You know, no lines and stuff. So we do have a bit of a drive. Natalie and I tried our best to wake up early today. So we're going to pack everything up and get on the road.
I am really excited for our new plan because I've realized since we've been on the road, Jimmy and I really like to just kind of keep moving. I think we've discovered that 4 days is kind of our limit. We start to get a little bit antsy and want to move on. So I think picking up the pace a little bit on our way to Canada will definitely suit us. We just haven't been doing it yet.
All right, well, we made it with pretty much no bumps. It was a solid 2.5 hour drive, and we made it just in time for lunch. We parked right across the road from a picnic area, and you get this amazing view. Just don't mind the bugs on the windshield. I'm sure it'll look better from the picnic tables.
This just feels so cute. I love how many picnics we have since we're in the bus. And these are diet soda, they're not beer.
As tempting as that is for me after driving 2.5 hours this morning.
Thank you, Jimmy.
That's a long time for us. I don't know if you guys know that yet, but we drive very short amounts, like only a few times a week. We never drive more than 2 or 3 hours in a day.
We can barely afford to right now with these gas prices.
That's true too.
I overheard a ranger telling people that this is an apricot orchard.
Okay, so coming to Capitol Reef National Park was kind of a split decision on our side. So we haven't been able to look into it that much, but from what I can tell, it is kind of an overlooked national park. So I'm excited to see what they have. The first place we're going to go check out is Capitol Dome, which is apparently where the park got its name.
I love that color.
Yeah, me too.
We still get really excited whenever we see other Skoolies, especially ones with the dog nose fronts. Those just look so cool to us.
Well, it was a lot easier to find than I thought. Behind me is Capitol Dome, which is what the park was named after. And after driving up on it, you can see why. Like, that looks identical to the state capitol buildings, and that's where it got its name. That was really cool, and it's nice because where we're parked is actually right next to one of the more popular hikes that leads to Hickman's Bridge, which is, I think, technically an arch, according to the woman at the visitor center. And she was really proud because she said this arch you can stand on, which you can't do at any of the arches in Arches National Park.
To be fair, I feel like if you could stand on the arches at Arches National Park, it would not be called arches, it would be called bridges. Right?
This one is called Hickman's Bridge, not Hickman's
True.
Arch.
Yeah, so it's better than an arch.
Natalie just informed me that these are Navajo white sandstone. Did I say that right?
You added the word white, which is true,
Yeah.
but, you know. It's so much different here than it was at Bryce Canyon, which is just a couple hours away.
Yeah, it always comes out of nowhere too, because the drive in between the parks is nothing like this. It's just a bunch of flat fields. We must have passed like 200 farms. It's just nothing but open land. But then you get to these parks and everything changes all of a sudden. That's cool. It tells you like where you should go to go under the bridge.
That's nice. I want to go on top of the bridge, though.
That was my expectation too. All right, well, there's the bridge. It's looking less and less likely that we'll actually be able to get on top.
I actually don't really see how we could get on top of it. I'm sure if we really were determined we could find a way, but the trail doesn't show us how to get up there. So I think we're just going to enjoy it from down here. It's nice being able to cram in a nice hike after a long driving day, or what's a really long driving day for me and Jimmy by our standards.
So we'll probably just start heading back to the bus now. I think we're going to call it a little bit early today because we still got to go find a campsite. Last time we showed up in the dark and that was not fun, so we're going to try to go find one when there's still light outside. What the heck is that?
I just want to walk down there.
Can we?
I think so. This view is pretty much like quintessential Utah. Like if you look up Utah on Google, I'm pretty sure this is what comes up. It's like the red rock mesas, and it's just littered with like green trees.
I do see the fun part of every hike that we've experienced in the Southwest. Here it is. Oh. That was underwhelming. I think most of it's in my socks.
People love to warn you about the snakes, but they always forget to mention the shoe sand. So it all happened really fast, but the orange bus that we actually saw earlier reached out to us and offered to let us stay at their campsite with them. I think they found like a really good dispersed camping spot, and Jimmy and I were looking for a place to stay tonight anyway, so this actually works out perfectly. So I think we're gonna go hang out with them. Should be fun. Oh, I think I see their bus. This is a good spot.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
I think we found a great spot for the night. It's really pretty here, it's totally free, and we've got some new friends. I wish I could say that we're well rested, but to be honest, we stayed up pretty late last night. It is always fun meeting new friends on the road, especially when they also have a bus. It just gives you so much in common. But today, our plan is to head into Capitol Reef National Park again. And this time we're really hoping to stop by and hike to the Cassidy Arch. This is like a huge natural arch that occurs. It's like a 3-mile trail, and it's supposed to be pretty steep at times. So we're excited. I think it'll be fun. It's a bit windy today, so as long as the wind doesn't pick up too much, I think it'll be a good day.
Should be good, right?
Yeah. We're less than 27 feet, so we'll be fine.
I don't even know if they show up on camera, but that is where we're going.
That's gonna be a really steep hike. We'd heard that it was, but seeing it in person, that's gonna be like quite a climb. Butch Cassidy's name was Robert L. Parker, is that right?
No wonder he changed his name if that's the case.
I know, Butch Cassidy's such a cool name versus Robert Parker. No offense to anyone named that, it sounds pretty common.
I think what makes this trail so hard is that you go up about 1,000 feet of elevation in only 1.5 miles. Wow, there it is. That's our first sight of the arch. We figured this would be a great spot for our first break because we actually have a good viewpoint of the arch. I don't know what it's going to look like when we get closer, so we got to take it in while we can still see it.
It's a little surprising to us. This is our first time being at high altitude, and we've noticed like the last couple of days we get winded much easier than we do like when we were in Phoenix, kind of at sea level. So it definitely makes an impact on us because we're not used to it yet. Definitely makes me want to stay away from the edge.
You're still like 4 feet from it.
That's 4 whole feet. There's not... True. That's a good point.
You stumbled back.
It's still not as high as Angel's Landing was.
That's true.
I've been desensitized.
It may not be Angel's Landing height level, but after a certain point, I just don't think it matters at all, and it's all the same to me.
It's tall enough.
Yeah, and I think we're like a couple 100 feet past that point. But we called it. It's a lot harder to tell you're on an arch when you're actually on it.
Yeah, it looks cooler from the side, definitely.
There's a chain right there. It's like the one from Angel's Landing.
But why? That's gotta have a purpose, I just don't know what. We just ran into a group that I'm pretty sure is about to climb on that.
We were literally just about to leave, but I think we might stay and watch instead. I'm nervous for them. Go! I think we know what that chain was for now.
He said his backpack almost made him possum a couple of times. I guess like that's if it makes you like flip over. That's gotta be real scary going first.
I'm nervous just watching them.
I'm getting ideas for our next adventure.
We gotta build up to that.
Yeah, I think we do.
So I don't know if this is the most underrated national park, but I definitely think it's overlooked after being here. It's so small that they don't even have a in-person fee station. It's just one of those little booths that you put your money in before you drive through. And there was no gate at that fee station. So that's how small they are here.
It has like the infrastructure and organization of a state park, but like the views are incredible, and there's fewer people here than at like Zion and the Grand Canyon where we just came from. So this has been like just such a paradise.
But thanks for coming to hang out with us through 2 national parks this week. Again, I promise we're not going to become a national park channel. It just so happens there's a lot in this area. And next week, I think we might actually go check out one more. So you should stay tuned for that.
Hopefully you guys like national parks, because we're having fun with it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.